I don't know about you, but when I think about the things that really matter in life, the things that are the greatest source of happiness and fulfillment, it isn't really the things at all. It's the people. It's the loved ones, family, friends, and just the folks you see around you in your day-to-day life. We love to feel connected. We really love to feel part of something, to be in connection with others. And when we feel disconnected from others, when we feel lonely and isolated, that can be really bad for our well-being. So in a moment, we're going to hear from a great friend of mine, Professor Robert Waldinger from Harvard Medical School, who's been involved in this just amazing long-term study looking at people's lives and which aspects of their lives most affect their happiness. And he's going to show you this connection between our relationships and our happiness, but he's also going to remind us that there are things we can do to look after our relationships.
This is, as far as we know, the longest study of adult life that's ever been done. And what's so unusual is that it followed the same people from the time they were teenagers all the way into old age, and asked them periodically to share the most important things about their mental health, their physical health, their work lives, their family lives, their friendships, their community involvement. What we did find was that having your basic needs met is vital, right? So having a roof over your head, being able to feed yourself and your family, having health care, all that is really important. But that once that is taken care of, then, more money, becoming famous, becoming super powerful at work, um, that doesn't seem to increase happiness much at all. And that what we found, the most consistent thing we found all the way through, was that the strength of people's friendships and relationships with other people was the strongest factor in keeping people not just happier emotionally, but physically healthier. One of the things I always used to think was that relationships would just kind of take care of themselves. So I made a friend, or I got together with a partner, and then we were all set, right? And they would just go on like that. And what we've learned in our research, and what other research shows us, is that actually relationships don't just take care of themselves, that they require constant tending and nurturing. So very common that really good relationships, let's say marriages, for example, um, are off to a good start, and then the kids come along, and then the couple is a good tag team and they take care of the kids, but they actually don't spend any time together anymore, and they start being more of a work team rather than uh, an intimate relationship. Similarly with friends, where people find that as they get older, those friends you made, those childhood friends or those friends from school, uh, with they fall away, not because there's anything wrong in the friendships, but because we don't actively make the time to tend to them. We don't call each other up. We don't say, "Hey, let's get together for coffee, let's go take a walk together." We just don't do that. We say, "Oh, I'm going to spend time this afternoon doing my email because I need to get it done." So I think what we've been learning from our research is that there's something I like to call social fitness. It's almost like physical fitness, where you don't say, "Well, I worked out today, so I'm done. I don't need to work out ever again." That when we think about tending to relationships, we need to really think about, well, which friends am I not seeing, and who do I want to be in touch with, and what do I want to do this Saturday afternoon? Do I want to spend my time on my computer, or do I want to call up a friend and take a walk? Even a socially distanced walk with masks on is possible. And then I think for the people who are more alone now, if you can, some of us feel more comfortable than others just reaching out and saying, "Hi, how are you?" And there are kind of low threshold ways to do that now, where you could just send a quick text. Uh, it doesn't even take a lot of courage to send an email or write a text for many people in the way that it might take to make a call on the telephone if you're not sure you're going to catch somebody at a good time. So I think that the encouragement for people who are alone is to try to reach out, but then the encouragement for those of us who know them is to really be active in reaching out to them. So when you think of somebody who you think may be more alone than they want to be, reach out to them. If the thought crosses your mind, do something about it. And don't think, I'll do that later. Unless it's 3 a.m, in which case do that later. But other than that, reach out, take that moment when the thought occurs to you. So what I guess my that's a long answer to saying that actively taking the initiative to attend to relationships is the way to keep them vibrant and to keep good relationships from becoming stale.
I find it so powerful to be reminded of that study that shows that the most important predictor of our lifelong happiness is our relationships. But I'm even more excited by this idea of social fitness, that we can keep ourselves socially fit on a daily basis in the same way that we want to stay physically fit. And in my own life, I have to recognize I haven't always got this right. I've sometimes taken people for granted, not made the time, or maybe just not even let people know that I love and appreciate them. And so I've recognized this and tried to build in little reminders to make sure I stay in contact with people, to reach out and check in and see how they're doing. And even just on a day-to-day basis, make time to say hello to neighbors, be friendly in the shops. So Robert's reminded us that our relationships really do matter, and that there are things we can do to look after them for ourselves, but also because, of course, it helps the others around us as well. So try to bring to mind the relationships that really matter to you, and most importantly, think of what you can do on a daily basis to keep that social fitness, to keep looking after those relationships.